This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Robert Spencer here for Jihad Watch and the Glazov Gang, and I am here tonight to talk to you about a matter of very great importance, and that is the abysmal human rights record of the Islamic Republic of Iran and one of its most recent victims, a young man named Afshin Sohrabzadeh. Now, Afshin Sohrabzadeh, political prisoner in Iran, and I was alerted to his case by Annie Cyrus, who is, of course, a favorite of the Glazov Gang and a well-known speaker about issues regarding Islamic law and women in Iran and all around the Islamic world, and my own colleague Pamela Geller, who have teamed up in a campaign to come to the aid of Afshin Sohrabzadeh. Now, Afshin Sohrabzadeh is serving a 25-year sentence in internal exile, as it is called, in a prison in southern Iran for the crime of muharebe, which is waging war against Allah. Now, this is a very serious crime in what calls itself an Islamic Republic. In the Islamic Republic of Iran, they take very seriously the fact that the Quran says, indeed, the penalty for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger. Now, you understand that is what Afshin Sohrabzadeh has been charged with. The penalty for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger and strive upon the earth corruption is none but that they be killed or crucified, or that their hands and feet be cut off on opposite sides, or that they be exiled from the land. That is for them a disgrace in this world, and for them in the hereafter is a great punishment. Now that is what Afshin Sohrabzadeh is facing. And so he has been severely tortured. It's no surprise. His nose was broken. He was given electroshock. He was burned by metal sticks and even raped. He is now reported to be vomiting blood and suffering from very grave respiratory problems. Amnesty International has even gotten involved in this and has reported he was in urgent need of specialized medical treatment outside prison. He suffers from a life-threatening gastrointestinal condition exacerbated by a prolonged lack of adequate treatment. Now, after a great deal of delay, some Iranian human rights organizations released a joint statement in support of him, and he was given a 20-day medical furlough on June 25th. And so that is the only chance that he has had for a respite from this torture. And now Annie Cyrus Inez Annie Cyrus has designed a campaign to rescue Afshin from this terrible ordeal that he is living through. And you can find the address at pamelageller.com and at jihadwatch.org. I will read it out here. It's a bit cumbersome to read these things, but it's gofundme.com/hope for persecuted. gofundme.com/hope for persecuted. Please do help with this. This is very important because this is not an anomalous situation. Afshin Sohrabzadeh is one of a great many people who have suffered in this way, are suffering now, and will, no doubt, there will be many more coming in the near future, as long as the Islamic Republic of Iran remains in power. As a matter of fact, it's no overstatement to say that the Islamic Republic of Iran is probably one of the least popular regimes in the world with its own people. It is widely hated within Iran, and the Iranian people are thoroughly sick of it. But there is no effective opposition. There's essentially no opposition at all, because it's so brutally repressive, because it acts this way toward anybody who dissents. That makes it such that it is virtually impossible to form any kind of effective opposition, and the Iranian people are completely stymied in despising the regime, but having no recourse. And it must be recalled in this connection that in 2009, there were widespread protests over the fraudulent re-election of then-President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. And that those protests, known as the Green Movement, were claiming, quite rightly, that the election results had been falsified and that the Iranian people had been disenfranchised. Certainly, the protesters were not challenging the Islamic regime itself. They were not saying that the Islamic Republic should be toppled, and certainly they would not have come up, had they come to power, they would not have come up with a regime that would be a Western-style secular republic. But there's no doubt that the Green Movement would have resulted in a regime much more hospitable to the United States, much easier to deal with, and probably significantly less repressive than the Islamic Republic of Iran as it's currently constituted. But of course, that was the only mass demonstration that Barack Obama refused to support. He supported the demonstrators in Egypt, who ended up installing a Muslim Brotherhood regime there that was so repressive that it was toppled from power within a year. He supported the demonstrators against Gaddafi, who turned out to be essentially Al-Qaeda, and who killed 4 Americans at Benghazi on September 11th, 2012. But he refused to give any support to the Green Movement, and thus betrayed the one chance, even a partial chance, that the Iranian people had to better their situation. And this is a people, of course, with a great and glorious history, a nation that deserves significantly better than what it has. Of course, we have to remember that the Shah of Iran, before 1979, was a strong ally of the United States, and Iran was a modern Western-style nation in which women enjoyed a significant amount of freedom, non-Muslims enjoyed a significant amount of freedom, and there was not the kind of repression that we see today. It's kind of ironic, as a matter of fact, in light of the fact that the Shah was toppled because he was supposedly so repressive, and he was indeed an authoritarian ruler. There's no democratic tradition in Iran any more than there is elsewhere in the Islamic world. But he was nothing compared to the Islamic Republic. As a matter of fact, there's even a joke that circulates among the Iranian people that there was a man who was considering becoming a martyr. And of course, a martyr in Islam is not somebody who just dies bearing witness to the faith, but who kills and is killed for Allah. And so a young man was thinking about doing this, and he went up to the Ayatollah Khomeini, the founder of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and asked him if he could describe paradise for him. And the Ayatollah Khomeini said, well, in paradise, it's always beautiful weather, cool breezes, very, very wonderful place. And the man says, well, you know, I'm thinking about blowing myself up. I need more to go on than good weather. And the Ayatollah said, well, of course, there's excellent food and all the meat you can eat and fruits and wonderful rivers of wine flowing through. And he said, well, I'm not going to blow myself up for a drink. Can you tell me more about paradise? And the Ayatollah is getting a little bit irritated at this point, and he says, well, it was wonderful. Everybody had a job. Everybody got along. You had nothing to worry about. That's what paradise is like. And he said, I'm still not getting it. Can you tell me more? And finally he said, okay. The Ayatollah was fed up with this, and he said, look, you want to know what paradise is like? Paradise is like Iran was under the Shah. And that is actually the way that a great many of the Iranian people think about Iran today and Iran yesterday. And we can only hope that those people will be able to create Iran tomorrow that will be the worthy heir of Cyrus the Great and of so many great Persian rulers and a great civilization that gave so much to the world before 1979. Afshin Sohrabzadeh is one of the victims of the Islamic Republic of Iran. We should be doing everything we can in the United States to make sure that he is one of the last of the victims of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and that he himself is saved from it. Unfortunately, of course, the Obama administration is doing just the opposite, giving billions of dollars to Iran, enabling it with the nuclear program, and so on. You have to wonder if the man, by any stretch of the imagination, has the best interests of the United States at heart. This is a criminal rogue regime. It has vowed the destruction of Israel. They chant death to America in the mosques every Friday. This is not a regime that we should have given a penny to. And his claim that the $400 million that we gave them was simply money owed to Iran is also spurious, because the fact is that that money was part of an arms deal with the Shah that fell through. And so the money should have been returned to the Shah. But before that could be done, he was toppled from power. And even Jimmy Carter, who did so much to enable the coming of the Islamic Republic of Iran, did not consider that money to belong to the Islamic Republic. He did not consider the Islamic Republic to have assumed the credits of the Shah. And so he didn't return the money. Neither did Reagan or Bush the First or Clinton or Bush the Second. Only Barack Obama has taken it upon himself to finance the world's chief sponsor of terrorism and to enable it to become bolder and more aggressive than ever. And he does think the Iran nuclear deal is his legacy. Well, it is actually the case. That is his legacy, what he is given to the world, unless things change drastically with the new regime in Washington or in Tehran or in both. What he's given to the world is a future that is certain to be chaotic and bloody beyond imagining. Now, Afshin Sohrabzadeh is one individual, and we are all one individuals. Each of us is one individual. All of us, I exhort you, we need to do everything we can to elect candidates now who will restore sanity in Washington, who will try to reverse at least some of the damage that has been done by this Iran nuclear deal, and try to make sure that no more people suffer the way Afshin Sohrabzadeh is suffering now. Thank you very much. This has been Robert Spencer. Actually, I still am Robert Spencer. And this is the Glazov Gang. Please support the Glazov Gang on its Facebook page, like it, and go to its YouTube channel, subscribe there for more excellent and high quality videos. And above all, go to gofundme.com/hopeforpersecuted and do your bit to help Afshin Sohrabzadeh. Thank you.